up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? How you out there? How you doing out there this afternoon? This is Lee Black coming to you live for our Sunday's edition of Real Talk for Real Men. And on our show, we talk about all kinds of topics, everything from love, sex, marriage, relationships, divorce, you name it. We cover it in a real way. And today I got something special for my audience. And I'm going to bring in the guests first, and then I'll tell you what we got lined up for you today on Sunday, because I hope to get a few guests that will pop in, and we're going to get this thing cracking. So first and foremost, let me bring in my co-host. This is Tasha in Memphis, Tennessee. What's going on, McMack?
What's going on, Black? How you doing today?
I am doing okay. Feeling a lot more rested than I did in our last show. So it's been a nice, lazy Sunday where I've enjoyed doing nothing. How about you?
I can say the same thing. Definitely nice, easy, laid back day today.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully for the next hour or so, we'll be able to entertain each other and have a little fun as we do so. And I see I got my brother from another mother here in Texas, Mr. Kenny. What's going on, my brother?
What's up? What's up? What's up, Tasha? How you guys doing?
What's going
We
on,
doing
Kenny?
all right. How you doing, my
Good.
brother?
Hey, easy like Sunday morning, as the great Lionel Richie used to sing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Fantastic. So you're probably wondering what we're talking about today. And so I wanted to kind of bring the audience to something a little different. And I realized that it's the dog days of summer. You know, people are doing other things. And so if you don't catch the show live, definitely as you go back and watch this, I hope you get as much enjoyment out of watching it that I got out of planning it. And so we hope to do something a little different for you guys. And I'm actually waiting on a few guests. So I hope that they actually pop in so that we can actually get this thing popping and popping and popping. So guess what we're talking about today, folks? I'm calling today's show Love, Life, and Sports, where they intersect, you know, here on TFG. Love, Life, and Sports, where they interject on TFG. And so I'm literally waiting on a couple of guests. But as we kind of get into this, the idea behind today's show, you know, and you can subscribe to us on TFG, is that we all are part of the TFG platform of shows, myself, Brother Kenny, and I'm hoping you see some new faces. So we're going to give them about 2 or 3 minutes to pop in. If not, we're going to pop it off and we're going to do what we do. But I wanted to bring the respective talents together from 3 different shows to bring the personalities together to discuss things that kind of where our worlds intersect. So Brother Kenny is on Tuesday and he does the Sports with Kenny, and fantastic. So if you haven't had an opportunity, please join him. And then, of course, we do Real Talk for Real Men here on Sundays and Wednesdays. Tasha and I, we talk about all things relationship related. And I'm looking for some representation from my brothers from Forgive Us Later. That's
Right.
where they do unfiltered, unmitigated talk about you name it in a real raw way. So we're going to give them a few minutes because they're probably not used to popping in this early. And so we're going to discuss this and see how our worlds intersect. So what we're going to be talking about specifically is sports related stories with a human interest. Sports related stories with a human interest. And so while we give them a few minutes, you know, what do you think? What do you guys think about us doing this topic and kind of bringing the talents together this way?
When you presented the idea, I was like, yeah, man, it's a great idea. It's definitely a great format. I think when you think about what you calling it, love, life, and sports, I think that's pretty much everybody can relate to that, because that's relatable to no matter if you like sports or not. Somehow you know a little bit about sports, you know a little bit about love, and you know a little bit about life, and we all have different perspectives. So and with me being a sports I ain't gonna say fanatic. I'm a fan. I because a fanatic is you go overboard. I don't do that. I'm just a sports fan, as most little boys are. We grew up being fans of sports, so I'm definitely was looking forward to this. And like I say, Black, when you came up with it, I was like, yeah, bro, it's a great idea. Let's knock it out the park.
I'm loving it. I appreciate it. Tasha, I'll get your opinion here in a second because I know I didn't tell you about this ahead of time, so I want to see what you think. Reps, good to see you. She says,
What's
hey,
up, Reps?
all is
Hey,
well.
how you doing?
Finally catching another great live. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Thank you for tuning in. So, Tasha, what do you think about us combining our respective worlds in this way?
And oh no, I'm excited to see how it goes. Also, I hope it's like bringing something to the light that maybe not everybody is aware of. Sometimes like with sports, it can be something that is a little offsetting, or people expect you to be some sort of expert on it. You don't have to. You can fake it like me. I be faking it all the time. You can fake it like me. I
Hey,
know.
spoken from a true woman. How many men have heard that before?
I love it. I love it.
I know enough that can, like get me by. So there you
Yeah,
go.
I love it. Hey, Charles Barkley is one of the most entertaining people on TV, and
right,
he'll tell you out of his own mouth he's
right,
not an expert. He's just giving his opinion. You know,
exactly.
but I
Yeah,
also like something you said, Tasha. We tried to pick things that were of a human interest level
Right.
because Brother Kenny covers so well the actual sports element of it. And so
right.
we wanted to talk about something that maybe you hadn't heard. And so we hope somebody pop in later. And so we're going to get this thing started. I don't like to keep my family waiting too long. We already on CP time. So let's get this
Right.
thing cracking. So the first story that we're going to talk about is James Harding. James Harding and his retired jersey. You might say, well, retired jersey? What are you talking about? We all know James Harding currently plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. And, he left the Nets and all of the things that happened there. That's not what we're talking about. Were you guys aware that James Harding recently had his jersey retired right here in Atlanta at Magic City? At the Shake Jun in Magic City. I see I got my sis Sherry popping in. What's going on, sis?
Oh, hi, everybody.
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up, Sherry?
welcome, sis. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you came right on time. James Harding, superstar player for the 76ers, had his jersey retired here recently in Atlanta and Magic City. For those of you who don't know, Magic City is probably the most well-known strip joint right here in Atlanta where everybody goes to. Well, why would they retire his jersey? James Harding spent $1 million in one visit to Magic City. He is renowned for spending. I see Tasha's face. He is just as well renowned for the amount of money he plops down at strip clubs. Some even have said that that is what has kept him from being in shape, being focused, things of that nature. So what do you guys think about the fact that he's being honored in this way and for this reason?
I'm gonna let the ladies go.
Wait a minute. I have a question. I want to clarify. Which jersey did he have retired? Which jersey? For
I,
which
I,
team?
I don't know which team.
Not that it not that
Right?
it truly makes a difference, but okay, for James Harden, number one, it speaks volumes to our society and to where we are today that would even be an honor to even have. Also, for James Harden, this is why you will always be in the position that you are in. This is why when your name is mentioned, it's not going to be like as a great. You're going to be remembered for foolishness and what you do because it overshadows so much of what you do on the court. Number one, and I'm gonna go off here in a tangent just for a second. As great as you may think that you are, and in those standout seasons that you may have, you are still you choke, and it's because of this. You don't focus. You don't focus. This is pure foolishness, is what this is.
All right. McMack has spoken. Hannah, welcome, sweetheart.
What's up, Hannah?
She said, damn, I'm working at the wrong company. But she brings up an interesting point in this. There was a time when I know in my time when I went to shake clubs, you think about strippers making, a couple of $100. Think about what we're saying, folks. He spent $1 million in a single visit. So that is legendary. Sherry, what do you think about this story?
I mean, it's. I'm still shaking my head because he's spending that type of money. He got that kind of money to be spending,
Yeah.
and like it's crazy. Like, and I agree with Tasha. Like, it's how he gonna be focused? Because seem like to me, his mind is more on ass to the game.
Yeah.
Well, Brother Kenny, you the sports expert here. Does he have that kind of money to spend?
He has a whole lot of money to spend. Harden has made over his career. I think we're looking at roughly right at $300 million thus far in his career. So spending $1 million in a shake joint is a drop in the bucket for him. The thing is, Tasha hit the nail on the head. I think when you think of his name, strip clubs come to mind. The two S's, the strip club and his step back jumper. Those are two things that you're gonna always remember about James Harden. That he's never really been on board with being in shape. I did read a report that he looked a lot better in this offseason. He's a little bit more in tune, but he's still gonna be in those strip clubs. That's just what he does. So with James Harden, you're gonna get that. He's gonna give you just enough to get by. That's pretty much his MO in my opinion.
Let me ask a question. Can he marry?
No,
he's not married.
No, he used to date Khloe Kardashian.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they technically dated. I think it was just a little sucking and fucking that was going on. If I'm being perfectly honest. But what does it say? But even then, if I'm his teammate, I'm so pissed at you because what does it say that you would be in more shape? You look better off season, and you weren't even this focused in the playoffs. I'm mad for them. I'd be so upset if I was them.
So Tasha's going. One of the places that I wanted to go is if you are a teammate of his, how do you feel about this? Reps asked, how old is he?
I want to say he's like 31, 32.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's still got about a good 4 to 5 years left in him. He's not the player he used to be, but he's in his early 30s. And he does have the money. And Tasha asked one of the questions that I wanted to go. How would you feel? Tasha says he's in better shape in his off season, and I think because the noise, the white noise had gotten so loud around him that's where he realized he didn't come in shape. And we got a representative from Forgive Us Later popping in, Mr. Charles Moore. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on, y'all? What's up? I'm only here for my parole. Okay, I'm only for my parole.
Hey, we'll take you how we got
we'll
you,
take
my
it, brother.
Appreciate you popping in, and you came in on the very first story because as we're exploring how sports, life, and love intersect under the umbrella of TFG, the first story is James Harden having his jersey retired in Magic City, the strip club, because he spent $1 million. What do you think about that?
I mean, it ain't tricking if you got it, I guess. He ain't hurting for money. So hey, man, his money, he can do what he wants to with it, man. So
that was the second place I wanted to go. That's the second place I wanted to go. Thank you, Charles. Because how do you feel if you're a teammate of his? And Charles brought up a point that. Are we looking? Is it the fact that he spent this money at a strip club? Because would we be thinking the same thing had he given $1 million to charity? What if he gave $1 million away to save the trees, to save the dolphins?
My feelings would still be the same. And to Charles' point, it's still tricking if you have it. It's still tricking. You can label it whatever you want to. You still a trick.
Ooh.
And again, it speaks to what you are not doing at the end. How the playoffs ended, it should have left such a bad taste in your mouth and in your performance. How you did not show up. Harden always chokes in the damn playoffs, but this is what you made. This was a priority for you, is what it seems like, because again, it's a specific event that you wanted to have your jersey retired. Come on.
For Randa, welcome to the party, sweetheart. Jump in here. Good to have you on the show today. What do you think about this? That a basketball player, prominent, he's not a B level, he is a superstar player in the NBA rather, and he's having his jersey retired at Magic City and being honored for spending $1 million. What do you think about that?
Can't hear you. You're muted. I think you're muted.
Yeah. Oh, we lost her. Okay. While she comes back, Charles, go ahead, Charles. Answer.
First of all, I mean, technically, it is charity. It might be somebody's college tuition here paying off. So thank God for him. First of all,
Ain't no damn
so
college
second of
tuition.
all, it is. Second of all, we all have our vices. You know what? After a bad day of not selling as much crack as I wanted to sell, you know, dang, like I'm gonna go home and play the video game. I'm gonna go home, eat my candy. You know, we all got our vices. At least he ain't out, raping kids or beating on women and stuff like that. So like, I'm okay with him doing that. I don't see a problem with it.
Charles raises a good point. You know, he raises a good point, and from the perspective of real talk, do we need to start thinking of the stripping profession and putting a little more respect on their name? Because if they're getting $1 million, them hoes making more money than we are out here.
Oh, they've been making that money. They've been making that bread.
And that's what. And Charles makes a good point that if that is his, we all do have vices. You know, is his vice any different? I'm asking a question now. Don't shoot the messenger. Is his vice any different than the guy that gets off and smokes a blunt? You know, the guy that beers, he happens to have that kind of money, and if he's got it, is that any different, folks?
Nobody's saying you can't have a vice. No one's saying that. You can have a vice, but it's in what you do. And again, he has no reason to be celebrating a damn thing. Not from what I saw. Not from this past season. And not from the season before that. He ain't got a reason to celebrate a damn thing.
That's not celebrating.
Tasha, on this one, I'm gonna say it feels like he was just doing his thing and they're celebrating him.
But here's the thing with Harden. This isn't nothing new. Harden has been going to strip clubs since he came into the league. So this isn't nothing new. This is his thing. Me personally, I ain't got a problem with him spending $1 million, whatever. Like Charles said, it ain't tricking if you got it. My thing is, now, do you want to be recognized as a professional stripping agent, or do you want to be realized as one of the best basketball players to ever play and win a championship? That's up to him to decide how he wants his legacy to look. And right now, we look at him more as the guy that spends $1 million in the strip club than we do a guy that can bring a championship to an NBA team.
I well said. So to close this out, I just want to go around the dais real quick and answer yes or no. You have a problem with him doing this, Tasha?
Yeah, I got a problem with it.
Okay. Kenny?
Yeah.
Nope.
Sherry?
No, I don't got no problem with him doing. I say kudos to Cardi B. She put these hoes on the map.
Okay. And Charles, you have a problem with it?
I ain't got no problem with it, man. Tasha's just a heartbroken Sixers fan. It sounds like it's gonna be all right. Tasha, hang in there.
No, not heartbroken. It's just a shame that these athletes they're not getting it, and because of how much how much everything has shifted, that it's all about their brand and everything, and they don't take anything serious anymore. And the fact that it's on this panel, just from going around, that we don't have a problem with it for the Black community, I got a problem that y'all don't have a problem with it. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Woo! So, that's the smoke.
We're not monolithic.
Right. That's the smoke.
No one's saying that it's a monolith. No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
We're going to move on to story number 2. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson.
Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. A little chilly in here.
You know, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That was only story number 1. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. In case you're unfamiliar, Deshaun Watson is the new quarterback for, who does he play for, Brother Kenny?
The Browns, Cleveland Browns.
Right, the Cleveland Browns. He replaced Baker, but this is also the young man that sat out all of this past season because he was embroiled in a scandal about getting massages and some 30-plus women. I think it had got up to 34 women that had a complaint against him in this day and age of Me Tooism. You know, obviously that made enough noise that it kept him out. Now, notice how I said Deshaun Watson and 30 pieces of silver. 30 women have already settled out of court, signed a non-disclosure statement. They can't talk about it. So at best, there are maybe 3 to 4 women that are still cases unresolved. And because of this, the NFL is looking at giving him a much lighter sentence than it was originally thought, because there is no criminal aspect here. There's no criminal charges. From a criminal perspective, they've already ruled that there wasn't either sufficient evidence or whatever the case might be to charge him. So when I think about 30 pieces of silver, you're familiar with the biblical situation where Judas sold out Jesus Christ for 30 pieces of silver. Do you guys have a problem with this? The fact that all this hubbub was made and now you got 30 hoes that done took their 30 pieces of silver and they've gone their way.
Yeah, it's the American way.
Oh.
let's go keep it real. That's it. That's what happens. And at the end of the day, if you look at this whole situation, he wasn't charged criminally. So I mean, that's not saying he's innocent. Just because he wasn't charged doesn't necessarily he didn't do anything against the NFL code of conduct. Now, these women, I would say when it first happened, I was like, man, it's all these women couldn't be telling the same. They can't be lying. But now I've kind of switched the way I look at this. I think a lot of these women they saw a money grab, and I think they felt like, okay, I didn't have a problem then, but I have a problem now. So now that I see that he's willing to settle, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get some of this money. So, but the thing is, the NFL is in a tricky situation with this case because of the previous things of how they've handled suspensions with players. So how are they going to handle this? Is he going to get a whole year, or is he only going to get 6 to 8 games just because he wasn't charged criminally and he was able to settle with a lot of these women? So it's going to be kind of tricky how the NFL handles this. So
absolutely.
We'll see.
And they're watching, because what also complicates this is it's not just NFL players that have gotten in trouble. There's been some owners.
Exactly.
Exactly. Too. So when you think about the NFL Players Union or whatever they call themselves, they are watching this very closely too, because are there two sets of rules? If you're talking about protecting the shield, as they say, and Mr. Kraft and Mr. Jerry Jones and some of the owners have done some things. So that's what this is going to, they're looking at this very, very closely. Sherry, what do you think about this story?
How old is he?
He's young now. He's got
20, how is he, Charles? What, 26?
26, 27?
27, yeah. 26, I want to say. He's 26.
I mean, yeah, he should, take the game and everything more serious, you know what I'm saying, than to be having that on his head.
Oh, we lost Sherry.
Yeah, we lost Sherry.
We lost her.
Okay, yeah, no.
Go ahead.
I say he young. Sometimes, them ages you gotta think back. Young men, they do these type of things. They get themselves, what I'm saying, he gotta learn.
Okay. Charles, what do you think about this story that 30 women have now settled?
I think he shouldn't have paid shit. I ain't paying. Look here, I ain't paying nothing. In the court system, in the legal part, deciding to do anything, I ain't giving y'all shit. So y'all can cry, beg all you want. Yeah. Then I might have grabbed y'all ass a little bit, whatever. But come on now, look here. Now we ain't never heard of word of mouth. So like, if I'm providing a service for Kenny, let's say I own like massage fitness, and I send women to Kenny, and the first I wouldn't be like, hey, like I didn't feel comfortable with him, like something didn't feel right. The other 5 are not gonna go to Kenny. Like I can't send nobody else to Kenny. Like it's a wrap. So come on, if you know he's doing something wrong, why you gonna keep on going to him? And some of these women went multiple times, so he done for paying. I wouldn't have paid shit. Okay. So that's my only now. Look, if he did anything wrong, he should have been prosecuted. But look here, he was acquitted. So I mean, I wouldn't have paid shit. That's my only issue.
He never was even tried. So
no, he wasn't even tried. Yeah,
exactly. That wasn't sufficient.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have gave shit. Okay. I would have gave him a middle finger. I told him to kiss my ass.
All right.
So yeah,
Tasha, what do you think about this? The fact that 30 women have settled. What does this say about us?
I've had a problem the whole time from the very, very beginning, and I know that we do live like in a litigious society, and it's so easy for people to jump on a bandwagon and to come up with details that are specific but yet still vague enough to where you can't really confirm or deny it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a problem that the fact that this is still an ongoing thing and that the NFL is even going to think about even punishing him any further because he already missed a year because of it. So it's like, why are we? What's going on? If he is settling this civilly, that has nothing to do with the NFL. It should be over. It should be done with. We're wipe our hands. Let's move forward. We'll put an asterisk next to his name, but let's go on with the season.
I actually agree with you 1,000%.
And I agree too. But the only thing, these leagues have a specific personal code of conduct, so that has nothing to do if they were charged or whatever. It's still, if you get caught up in a situation that puts a bad light on the Shield, guess what? We're gonna have to, at least we're gonna have to spank you. We're gonna have to do something. Now, again, what Black said earlier, what about Robert Kraft? Y'all didn't spank him when he got caught in that dog on massage parlor and on video. So now you're gonna spank the play. I mean, so yeah, the NFL is in a very tricky situation.
That's my thing.
How they do stuff. So
that's my thing, because I agree with Tasha. You can't have two sets of rules to protect the Shield, in my opinion. Either the Shield is above all or it's not. And so I'm with Tasha in the sense that when you slapped Mr. Kraft's hand, for playing a little grab ass, and no charges came forward. The moment that there were no criminal charges, to me, you set precedents where you could just simply say, hey, you know what? It was a little embarrassing, black eye. You know what you could have said at that point? We're going to handle this internally. I'm with Tasha, this could have all gone away a long time ago when you literally could have said, this is our league, we're governing it, and we're handling it internally. And it to me, the fact that Tasha's right, the fact that you allowed it to fester all this time, it became bigger than it was. These hoes could have settled a long time ago, to be honest with you, because
you're right, Black. You're right. But the only thing with that, and I hate to interrupt you, is they got a lawyer and they went and they filed charges against him. That's where the NFL couldn't say let us handle it, because it went through the legal process at that point.
But that just it. I think that process would have sped up a lot quicker had the NFL came out early enough and said, look, are you going to charge him? And the moment that part came out, okay, now we're going to handle it internally, because then I think it would have speeded up what we're seeing now, the 30 pieces of silver, because I view this as the new way of a class action lawsuit. Tasha talked about us being a litigious society. I get in my email, even right now, if you go to your email, I'm sure you get the same emails. You get these emails saying that, did you use talcum powder before?
Right.
Has anybody ever used Paxil or whatever? It'd be some crazy shit. They're literally soliciting you that if you've ever used talcum powder, you can jump into a class action lawsuit and say, hey, I did once upon a time in the summer sprinkle powder down in my drawers, which I actually frequently do to keep me from being musty. So,
Brother Black, that's to your mind right there, brother.
I would just want to add one other thing.
Real talk.
I want to add one more thing to it.
Go ahead.
The fact that I also think that all this should be done, because whatever punishment, I do think that I think he's already been punished by the NFL. Now that he's with the Browns, if he was going to be punished, it should have been with the Texans, which I think already occurred. Now he's with the Browns. Definitely move forward, because it didn't happen with their franchise.
Very good point. Very good point. Very good point. So there you go. Look, y'all know my mouth typically runneth over. So Charles looking at me like crazy, But yeah, so that's interesting. So I can't wait for this whole thing to resolve itself. At best, now you've got 3 or 4 women still out there who I believe are probably holding out for a little bigger sum, and like you said, Brother Kenny, we're going to watch and see ultimately what the NFL is going to do, because this could get very tricky in terms of how they handle this. So interested in watching that. All right, let's switch over to the Kardashians. Khloe and Tristan sitting in a tree, making another baby. ING.
Oh Lord.
We all know the love affair between Tristan Thompson, who's I don't even know if he still plays basketball.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
Wow.
Yeah,
who does
he's on a roster somewhere?
He's on the roster. He wearing a suit.
So he's still an active NFL player. And
NBA.
I'm sorry, NBA player. And his best iteration of himself, he played on with the Cleveland Cavs when LeBron was there. So he was, I think, a part of that NBA championship team. And he contributed. He was a good contributor at that moment. So he wasn't slaw.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Now, having said that, he's probably more famous for dating one of the Kardashians, Khloe Kardashian. And they had a baby. And I believe the child is now. Huh?
I said, AKA the ugly one.
Oh,
She's
man,
actually my favorite, and I like her better than anybody else. I find her more attractive than the others. That's just me,
Yeah, we got to talk. We got to talk about
that's
this.
a whole other thing. She's the only one I actually like. But they have a child. I believe the little girl is like 2 years old. Adorable, pretty little child. Now, they are now having a second child. But here's the thing. It's via surrogate.
Of course.
They're having a second child via surrogate. And in case you don't know, his sperm, her egg has been implanted into a surrogate parent, and they're producing a child. Now, while he's got this child on the way, he also has another child on the way with another woman that he did the old-fashioned way. He did his thing. Also, he has other kids. So Tristan Thompson is who he is. He clearly likes pussy. He likes a variety of pussy. But here is what makes this story interesting. The way this is being told from a human interest perspective is Khloe is the victim. They literally came out with a story today from US Weekly magazine talking about how devastatingly embarrassing this is for Khloe, because how dare he get another woman pregnant when he is having a child with Khloe? I'm looking at y'all faces. What do you guys make of this fuckery and foolishness?
What you just said it. The two F's. What your last statement? I don't. Okay. So Khloe is the victim. Is that what they're saying? Because of
correct.
Okay. Number one, Khloe actually knows who Tristan is. You know who you've been dealing with. So stop playing the victim card. You ain't no victim. Number one. Number two, last I checked, they ain't married. They single, right? They ain't together, right?
They're not together.
So he can go jab, and he can go jab his peen in whomever he want to. He was doing it when you were with him. So now how you gonna feel embarrassed? I think these two right here, I wish they would go away. I mean, just please, just go away somewhere. I mean, at this point, the story is old. I don't get it. But anyway, that's my thoughts on it.
Charles, what do you think about this?
I will say, first of all, let me preface this by saying I don't condone cheating.
Okay.
Don't condone cheating. But if your woman gonna let you do it, I mean, what the heck? I mean, shout out to him. He a legend. He need to be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, just for him, like doing all this, he should be in the Hall of Fame for men. Because Lord, he doing it. Man, he can do whatever he want, and still got his woman on the side. So, like, shout out to him. And she'll be all right. Hell, she rich, and she signed up for this. She could have lived with that a long time ago. He must got some good dick or something. Because man, he hanging. I mean, like damn, like she hanging in there. So, Lord, but yeah, like shout out to him.
Okay, all right. I like your take on that, Tasha. What do you think about this story?
This is some absolute bullshit. This whole story has just gotten out of it makes no sense. When he first cheated on you and you two split because of what happened with him and Jordan, or what may or may not, what was ever alluded to have happened between him and Jordan, You all shun that girl, put that girl out of your lives and everything. And then Chloe made a decision to let go of Tristan. And then you call yourselves trying to work it out, but then you realize he cheated on you. But all in that time, y'all were trying to work it out on the low, not really tell anybody until you wanted to announce that you all were going to go through and, that you're having another child together. Number one, why even do it? Where I understand, like, okay, maybe you wanted to give your child a sibling and you wanted to make sure that it's like with the same person, but also you made a calculated decision to do it because you went out, you selected a surrogate, you willingly both made your contributions, however way that was, and then why does it matter? Y'all aren't together, you're not in a relationship, so yeah, it's not cheating. He didn't cheat on you and produce a child with someone else. He's a shitty person. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when y'all were together, he cheated on his first baby mama, whoever she was, with you. So you knew he was a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater. And then how vain are you that now you've had so much surgery, you have how you want to look together now, that you didn't even want to sacrifice your body again to have a child with him. You should have left well enough alone or picked somebody else to have a child with. Your sister did.
You've opened up that can of worms to me, because there's a few things that I have issues with, and I'll start with the last one. The whole idea of surrogacy. This is they've turned the biological miracle of childbirth into a game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are truly people out there that have to use a surrogate. The one of the most famous ones that comes to mind is Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. If you followed their story, they detail and chronicle the Herculean efforts that this woman went to have a baby of her own. She lost babies, miscarriage. They tried to veto fertilization, all kinds of things. Apparently, so many dicks have been up in that pussy that it ruined the cave. But anyway,
that is not how that happens, Black.
I don't think that was.
How that happened.
I don't think that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Black,
giving you.
But,
I'm giving you Lee Black's take.
Okay.
Having said, hey, we got Mr. Forgive Us Later. So
I know. I know, and I know. You know, he'll say something crazy in a heartbeat.
This is an homage to you, Charles. This is an homage to you, Charles. And even Charles.
I don't want the homage. Thank you, though. I don't want
Charles. So I digress. They really apparently wanted to have a child. And it got to a point where Dwayne Wade even said, you know what? This is about your life. What's going on? This is Mr.
What's up? Barry Gordy.
The owner
what up?
And the proprietor, the innovator of TFG, Mr. Lamar. What's going on, my brother? Appreciate you.
Hope you're getting the feeling better, too.
Absolutely. Godspeed, my brother. So anyway, where I was going with this is that surrogacy is a real thing for people who really might need it. But Tasha brought up a good point. In this case, it does appear, we don't know, it does appear that she just didn't want to mess up her figure. And we're starting to see this, with the rich and famous, that somebody else can carry my baby. And even in this story, they're not mentioning the mother, whoever the actual vessel that's going to live with a child, she doesn't exist. Doesn't get talked about in this story. Right. So US Weekly is not talking about the fact that there's a real live woman who's going to bring a baby to term. We're focused on how this affects Khloe Kardashian, right? How this impacts her. Secondly, Tasha, you said he's a cheater. Is he really? If a guy is who he is and you still want to give him some pussy, is he really a cheater?
No, you're not trying to say that when you just got on to be the last show talking about intellectualizing things. Yes, he's still a cheater.
No, he's not.
Yes.
All
Look
he's
here. He doing the
Yes.
look here. He doing the Lord's work. The Bible say, "Go forth, be
Hey,
fruitful, and multiply."
hey.
Oh, la sha la sha la
No, there was more to that.
That's all I'm
Keep
saying.
reading. There was more to that.
That brother doing the Lord's work.
Saying, thank you,
The
Charles.
Bible say, "Go be." I'm gonna say it one more time. The Bible say, "Go forth, be fruitful, and multiply." That brother's multiplying.
There was
Come on,
more
somebody.
to that. There was more to that. You got to read the
I
whole
didn't get there for you. Hold on. I gotta get there. I didn't get there for you. Hold on. I've been ruining it for you. I didn't get there for
Charles
you.
asked the question. He must have some good stick because if he is this cheater, quote unquote, and you got this one still willing to have babies with him, are we putting the blame in the wrong corner? You know, because what does it say that after all he's done, you brought up the other little chubby girl he cheated on, you know, and that Chloe still stuck with him, wanted to have a baby with him. And what does it say that she made a conscious, intelligent decision to want to have a second child? Now, I like what you said. You said maybe she wanted her kids to have the same baby daddy and all that kind of stuff. And I would buy that if you were doing it the old-fashioned way. But if you're using a different vessel and it's not even going to be your own hoo-ha, does it really? It still was going to be your eggs, you know, in there. So my thing is, this is just a weird story to me that the focus is on how damaging this is and disappointing he's such a cad to Khloe Kardashian when Tristan is just being Tristan to me.
They're all to blame. I'm not absolving anyone. They're all to blame because again, this is being and the only people I feel sorry for are the kids because this is their lives that is being played out in real life like this. That it is going to affect them going forward, and once they grow up, it's going to affect the kids. All the adults, shame on all of y'all. All y'all.
Now that I agree with you. I'll jump in that boat with you on that. I'll jump in that boat with you on that. All right, let's jump to another story. When's the last time you guys heard anything about George Foreman? George Foreman.
It's been a minute.
It's been a long time for George Foreman. In case you don't know, George Foreman, the former heavyweight champion of the world. Now we're talking about he was a heavyweight champion in boxing. This was back in the 70s.
And well, then he won it again. He won it again in his late 40s.
Correct.
He was the oldest to ever win the heavyweight champion. But
I actually watched that fight.
Yeah.
You know, but he's most famous for what was it? The Thriller.
The Thriller in Manila. The Rumble in the Jungle.
Rumble in the Jungle.
With him and Ali, when Ali got him that time.
The rope, when Ali invented the rope-a-dope, he did it fighting George Foreman. There's a great movie on that. In fact, Will Smith, the movie Ali, it is depicting that particular fight when that was the first time it was held in the continent of Africa, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the average, probably younger generation, you know what they know George Foreman for? George Foreman Grill.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
Many people don't know anything about his boxing career. Right. You know, he has a George Foreman Grill, and at one point, there was probably a George Foreman Grill in just damn near all of our houses, the way we had VCRs. And believe it or not, that is how he made his fortune. Not from boxing. And here's a crazy little fact for you. Do you know who they pitched the idea to initially for the grill? It wasn't George Foreman.
It was Hulk Hogan.
Oh, it was Hulk Hogan? Wow. Did not know that.
He missed the phone call.
It was a good idea, and he turned it down. Wow. And George Foreman amassed over $300 million net worth off of the George Foreman Grill. Wow. So now, guess what's happened, though? George Foreman is currently actively embroiled in a Me Too fight of his life. A woman from 45 years ago is claiming that he touched her. Tops are shaking her head. That he touched her in the wrong way. He didn't rape her. He touched her in a wrong way. I see your face, Charles. And it has traumatized her over 45 years ago. Somebody, please.
It's easy for me, and I'm gonna tell you this. I normally always kind of try to. I normally champion for women most of the time in these situations, but I'm sorry. This broad, and I'm telling my age, I call her a broad. Yeah, I said it. I call her a broad. This broad is lying. I don't want to hear nothing about. Foreman has already said that they've been trying to, for the last 17 years, they've been trying to get money from him. They basically has extorted this Foreman for the last 17 years. So that broad is lying, and she probably looked like the sole of my shoe anyway. She probably don't look worth a damn anyway. Ain't nobody want to touch her. I don't believe her. I'm sick of all these women. I'm sick of these women, man. They make it harder for the woman that has really been traumatized.
Yes.
I'm sick of these women coming out like roaches now, want to, like 50 years ago, oh, he touched me. Okay, all right. I don't believe her.
Tosh, I'm going to let you go last on this one, representing the women. Charles, what do you think about this, my brother?
I mean, just like Kenny said, man, 45. Like, what's statute limitations on touching somebody? 45 years? That's a long damn time. Look at her. She ain't went to therapy or nothing like that in 45 years. How the hell she still traumatized? She didn't get raped. And look at her. I'm not making light of somebody being like a man assaulting women like that, because any man who assaults a woman either physically or verbally like that, should be like thrown in jail like a million times over. But 45 years, come on, man. He probably touched your ass cheek or something like that. 45. If he did anything, it's 45 years ago. Come on, man. God dang. Like, what are we doing? Lord, hell, Lord. Did he grab her by the pussy in the words of Donald Trump? So I mean,
right.
No. 45 years. Come on, man. What are we doing?
Tasha, what do you think about this?
I'm the opposite of Kenny. Anytime I hear someone make certain allegations of rape or touching or something, I don't believe anybody. I got to hear all the sides. So then I can form my own independent opinion of what's going on. And a lot of times with certain cases, say for example, the bullet case, immediately for me, my spirit told me that's a lie. Whatever he said is a lie. And in this case, it's a lie. That's just my immediate gut reaction is that's a lie. Okay. We're not going to sit here. We've really got to stop doing this, because there are statutes of limitations. And I still don't understand, even with all the Me Too that goes on, how certain things are able to go forward through the legal system when we know that statutes of limitations for sexual assault or anything like that, they do exist. So I know like for different states, there's like different rules or whatever. But if you don't report it to me, and I'm sorry, this is very unpopular. If you don't report it to me within 6 months of it happening, don't you dare utter it again to another fucking person unless it's a therapist. Don't you say another damn thing about it. Don't you tell a newspaper article. Don't you share it in church. Don't you tell your mom about it. Talk to a therapist. Pray about it. Let it go, because you should have said something sooner. I'm sorry. At this point, I don't believe a damn thing that you say.
Wow. Powerful. I want to piggyback on that and talk about it from a real talk perspective, because Tasha brought up something that for me, it makes it very personal. And you're right, brother Falk, that we're talking almost 50 years, half a century.
Right.
When I was a younger man, like most people, I tended to jump and believe the first thing I heard. When somebody got shot or somebody got raped, you immediately form an opinion. You know what has happened as I've aged gracefully? Like Tasha, I've been able to kind of sit back now and not react as quickly. Now, when I hear a story that somebody's got shot 6 times, you know what my brain says now? What the fuck did he do? Why did they put 6 bullets in his ass? What time was it? Where was he at? What was he doing? Who was he with? And so when I hear these stories, and particularly when you attach that length of time to it, I have a million questions, just like Tasha. Who did you tell? And why did you wait so long? And like Tasha, I'm of the mindset that there is a window to me, and I'm going to go a little further than Tasha. She's a woman, and I'm a man. I'm going to give you a year. I'll give you a year as a man. I'll buy into the theory that somebody is so powerful and such a juggernaut that you might think, oh my God, what's going to happen to me, my job or whatever. But for me, after a year, if you haven't gotten up the courage, then she's right. Then to me, you've accepted it at that point. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that, folks. Every person on this screen, I'm sure we've had some fucked up things happen to us in our childhood. Some things that we've internalized. You know what I'm saying? Do you realize how many women out there, this is a true statement, that active women today in every family that has experienced some level of inappropriate touching? Tasha, am I wrong? And
no,
no,
that's the truth.
Because you know that's the truth. Right. You know, whether it's an uncle, a cousin, a brother, or whatever. And and in many ways, women have internalized that. You know, maybe they did tell mom or cousin or somebody, and they moved on from it. And the same thing with us as men. We might have been touched, but you don't tell anybody because you don't want the whole gay thing to come into play, and you just brush it off. And I'm bringing that up for a reason. Shit happens. And so I'm not minimizing women's pain in any kind of way, but I truly believe the Me Too pendulum has swung so far that it's actually damaged the credibility of real shit that happens to real people. And so it for me, it's made me an unsympathetic figure, like Tasha said, when I hear these stories. Because if you didn't report it relatively within that period of time, keep it to yourself.
And you know, the flip side that we don't ever mention about this is the men that's accused of these inappropriate or whatever. And once the stories have come out to be false or there's no validity to it, there's no apology. There's no the accuser is not held accountable for putting this man's name out there that maybe had cost him his livelihood. He's lost money, but they're never handled. They're never gone at that point. So as a man, and speaking from a male perspective, that really pisses me off because I don't think that's fair.
Charles, you had something?
I just want to say, like, this might be like this is extreme, but I'm gonna just say it. This is the same thing that got Emmett Till killed. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Like a false accusation.
Right.
So, I mean, like Tasha said, like it's three sides to every story. It's his side, her side, someone knows the truth. But it's the same thing that got Emmett Till killed. That's all I'm saying. So if you're going at least you know, damn, like tell the truth. Like damn, like it ain't that damn hard. Like that's my own thing.
I love it, man. What's going on, Miss Shante?
Hey, what's up,
Shante? Hey, Gibby.
And
you owe me money, Shante. I'm gonna make that clear. You owe me money. I don't care if you're a woman or not. I want my damn money. But anyway, I'm sorry.
But Charles is right. And I call this, I was telling somebody this the other day, I call this the Maury Povich effect. Maury Povich show, he got famous off of one particular segment, You Are Not the Father. And on that particular segment, he would bring out the woman and she spent the next 6 to 7 minutes running down the poor baby daddy and how bad of a father he was. And he's a horrible human being and how he's ignoring his child. And I know it's his baby. I'm 1,000% sure. And what made this show so popular at that time was when the results would come out and the famous line, You Are Not the Father. We weren't waiting to hear he was the father. What made it entertainment was You Are Not the Father, because now the woman got to scream and fall all down and run off the set, and then the cameras would follow her in the back of the studio, and she'd be sobbing. And now Maury Povich would not let the man roast this bitch after she just spent valuable TV time telling people how horrible of a human being he is. So to your point, Kenny, she's fucked his name. We only get one name. And Kenny's right. There is no mass retraction. Chris Brown, about a month or two ago, there was a lady that was going to sue him. And when it came out that he did something to her on a P. Diddy party, it was national news.
Yep.
But it was a small byline when it came out that her own text messages revealed that she was full of shit. And they didn't come back and say, oh my God, we're sorry, you're wrong. And this, that, no, because his name was already put out there. And so it's a horrible thing to fuck somebody's name. Shante says, you handle false accusations by prosecuting for filing a false report.
Of course, yeah,
information.
yeah. You're right, Shante. That's the legal process. But we're talking about if you big enough to go on social media and do all this and say that man has did this, then you should be a big enough person to come out on social media and apologize too.
And the news stories, and the news stories, because even if you as a victim, you follow through and sue that person, they still fucked your name. You only get one name. There's still going to always be a segment of people out there, because once you attach rape, molestation, something to your name, it's always, the stain of it is always there. And I'm speaking as somebody who worked in a professional environment, and I went through a 6-week investigation for sexual harassment. And at the end of it, the accusations was against me because I commented on a woman's hairstyle and her boots. And I worked on the 3rd floor. And so I can never discount that with the people on the 1st and the 2nd floor, because by the time the investigation ended, you know how rumors get out there. So it doesn't matter that I was exonerated. As I walked in that building every day, there were whispers of people thinking, yeah, that's him. And he got away with it. That rat-eating bitch fucked my name up. Joy, if you ever watching this, you rat-eating bitch you. If I ever see you on these streets, I'm going to cave your fucking skull in. You nasty rat-eating bitch you.
Canceled.
I got it.
Oh, you got it, Charles. Okay,
I got it. Look here. Okay. The views of Lee Black are not shared by TFG. These are his opinions and his opinions alone. Also, furthermore, I'm not legal counsel, but I watched Matlock a few times. I just want to say that Lee Black was not being sincere when he said that. That was all hypothetical. Of course, we've all had that feeling. Ooh, I could kill that person. I want to kill him. Ooh, we don't never follow us through. Yeah. We're just, it's hypothetical.
Thank you.
Did I cover? Can I get it? I get it covered. Was that
Thank you,
good?
Brother.
Okay.
You did real great.
That's the love for my brothers. That's the love for my brothers.
Oh, Lord, geez, I need some coffee.
Let me bring my temperature down by bringing in our last story.
Hey, Reps, whoever that was.
Magic Johnson is still leading the way. Magic Johnson is one of the most famous NBA players in the history of the game. Los Angeles Lakers. He bleeds purple and gold, as you know. And he's been retired for quite a while, but Magic is Magic. He's always going to be Magic. Here's the human interest of this story. Every single summer, Magic Johnson takes a vacation on his $150 million yacht. Talk about living a life. And on this yacht, it's a standing invitation. He has a small party of people that go with him. LL Cool J and his wife goes every year. They also had on there Beyonce's mother and her husband. And I think it was one other couple. I can't remember who that was.
Samuel Jackson and his wife were there.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
How cool is it that these famous people get to take a vacation every year? What do you guys think about the idea that they're doing this? And again, they're doing this in grand fashion. What do you think about this?
Oh man, I love it, man. I mean, it's showing first of all, it's showing black love still exists. It's showing that you still got these couples that's been married. Obviously, they've had their ups and downs, but those couples that go on that trip have been together 25 plus years, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So it's showing black excellence, and it's just showing, I mean, that's stuff we can all strive to as a black community, even with our own little circles that we have. Do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Just obviously we ain't got no yacht, no $150 million yacht to sell to Italy, but some on a smaller scale, just to show that, man, black love is there. Show black love and just showing, reaching out to each other and just showing love. So yeah, Magic Man, he's still throwing them assists.
There you go.
Still throwing them assists outside of the basketball court.
There you go.
Dope. Yeah.
There you go. Charles, what do you think about this? Lamar says he love it. Black excellent. And Shantae threw in another couple. So this,
Holly Robinson
and Rodney Pete. Yeah. And they two have been together a long time.
Once again, it ain't tricking if you got it. Tasha. I want you to
This
make sure you
isn't
heard that.
tricking. It's his
I
own
know, but I'm just
money,
saying.
and he's not
I'm just
sharing it and throwing it in a strip club. But I
he's
digress.
sharing it. He's
Go
sharing
ahead
it.
with
He
your
put people on the yacht. But go
answer.
ahead.
Go
Let me get
ahead
my
with
point
your
out the
answer.
way.
I'll come for you in a second. Go ahead.
Whatever. Bring your spend a night bag if you come over here. Just want you to know that. Anyway, once again, it ain't tricking if you got it. I'm not mad at Magic Johnson. Like, go ahead, help a brother out. You know, Kenny Black. When I hit this lotto on Tuesday, y'all invited to my yacht. Tasha, don't you bring your ass to work?
You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it.
Security will cuff you up on the dock.
You
Don't
ain't
you worry
got to worry about
it.
me.
Also, furthermore, the sister who was on there earlier, I don't know if she related to y'all. I think she had locks, so she was laying down in the bed. She's invited too. I don't know her name. But she's invited.
Yeah. What happened to her?
I didn't know
didn't
who
come back.
Good Lord Jesus. She invited wherever she want to go.
My
Good
brother,
Lord.
I'm with you.
Anyway.
Tasha, come on and bring it. What do you think
Ugh.
about this?
No, I mean, they're sharing the fruits of their labor. I mean, that's what they worked for. I mean, they're just taking a vacation. I'm confused as to why it would be newsworthy, but I digress. Just good for you. Congratulations on your success, and I hope you don't drown. I mean, I don't know what to say. Congratulations. Be
Hope you
safe.
don't drown.
I mean, it's just you're just going on vacation. Good for you.
So let me say this. I am actually glad that it did make the news. Somebody covered it because we do cover so much negativity until this was a great human interest story. Look, unless Charles hits the lottery, I'm probably never going to make it onto a $150 million yacht. So I'm pulling.
I got you.
I'm pulling for you. The reality is, I took my fat ass to Little Rock a couple of weeks ago. That's about as good as it get for me. My thing, though, is what I love about this story is the fact that, again, these are couples who for the most part, stay out of the limelight. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that. So I know what Tasha's kind of saying, that they're taking a vacation, but they're not. These are people who don't show up at every premiere. They're not all over social media, giving their opinion on every little thing. You know what they're doing? As they're living the fruits of their labor. They're living their lives. I think the youngest tenured married couple of all of them there is probably Beyonce's mother. But she's an older lady, her and her husband, and he's an actor too. So these are people who have been through life. They got experience, and they've been through some things. I like the fact that we tend to think that couples, and Black couples especially, can't get together to enjoy each other. Right. And Tasha and I talk about this all the time. I miss the good old days when people got together to do real shit like this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be twerking. Just 10 years ago, you know what we used to do as couples and people? We used to get together to play cards and dominoes.
Yeah.
We games.
Cook and somebody bring a bottle or order some food. And we've gotten away from that. And so although that we can't do it on that level, I wanted to bring the story to the table because I would love to see us as people get back to that place where we can get together, where there's no fuckery and foolishness, no fighting, no arguing, and show that we actually can get along and we like each other and there's not competition. And so I've been talking about this for a long time. I would love for us to start putting together that type of thing, whether you're married or single. And so if I hit the lottery, Charles, my baby girl is coming.
Charles is not invited.
I'm RSVP. I'm VIP. Come on, don't be like this, Ty.
Y'all can have it out, and we can laugh and drink and watch y'all too.
Exactly.
Act a damn fool with love, because
Tasha. See there, I'm invited. Tasha, did you hear that? I'm invited.
What's up,
Brittany?
I'm
pushing you off the boat.
What's up, Brittany?
I got my life jacket. Okay.
I'm telling you now, we are pushing you off the boat.
Be careful how you treat me. Me and Jesus are the same color. You see my shirt?
Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
That's a whole other conversation.
So y'all remind me
of the devil.
The people on the best man that we subdivide you two somewhere together when the morning when the sunlight come up.
He wouldn't know what to do with it.
I sleep on the west side. No, that's the
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired, Charles.
all
Shots
I know is
fired.
all I know is look here. I'm not gonna talk about my past because that don't affect Tasha. All I know is okay. You will leave dehydrated, so bring you some Powerade, or bring you some Gatorade. Get your electrolytes up.
All I
come
know
this
is
way,
they
Tasha.
will find
Okay,
you in
bring
the
your
same position as
electrolytes.
when you enter the world, in a fetal position. So that's how we gonna leave that there.
Do
And
you
that's
see
okay, because
why
you're gonna be
these
cramped
people
up on the
are
side. So I ain't
entertaining?
worried about it. You're gonna be stiff and cramped up, so I ain't even worried about it.
Shantae, are you all right?
Where?
Shantae, if you can, you and Brother Lamar put together this TFG game night. It is definitely needed. I think we should get back to a place where we're having fun with each other. We're probably on the precipice of another breakout from pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
This is not going
Lamar.
away. And so,
Yeah.
yes, I would love to bring back game night for all of us. Absolutely. That snappy nappy dugout is real. Yes, indeed.
Lamar, you know better. Lamar, you know better. Lamar, you know better.
She do not need that mental image.
Tasha used to them average dudes, ain't nothing average over here, so it's okay.
Yeah,
But anyway,
the loudest one in the room is usually the weakest. So go ahead, keep
I'm
talking.
not the loudest one.
Keep
I'm not
talking.
the loudest one. I just walk in the room and they just flock
Go
to me.
ahead.
I don't know what I be doing.
Keep
Yeah,
talking.
come to the
You
end.
one trying to convince yourself, not me. Keep talking.
I still love Tasha.
Here's the
love
beauty.
you.
So here's the beauty of this, and I hope we can do it again. That's why I wanted to bring the audience this show. This is the talent under the TFG umbrella. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and we gave you just a taste of what you can get if you show up on any of these shows. Right. Mr. Charles Moore, Forgive Us Later, personality all on its own. They do it like that on every single show. Brother Kenny is that stabilizing voice of reason when he do the sports segment and he give it to you real in a way that you can imagine. Nick Mack and myself, we are damn fools as we talk about relationships. We definitely appreciate you guys. And I just wanted to bring together the talent from TFG, 3 different shows, so that you can see how we do this thing. So once again, if you haven't already subscribed to TFG, please do so. I want my brother Kenny, the velvet voice of Kenny, to tell the viewers out there where they can come and sign up, tune in, catch us, support, comment, share, because according to the man himself, TFG Game Night, look out for it. It's likely coming. If he put it out there, it's coming.
It's on and popping, isn't it? Yeah.
So, Brother Kenny, tell everybody where they can find us.
Hey, man, great show. As always, you can find my guy, that brother up there, Lee Black, and his co-host, Tasha, Real Talk for Real Men, every Wednesday and Sunday. Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays, we're going to have a little bit of fun. Wednesdays going to make you think a little bit. Then on Fridays and Sundays, the Real Estate Insider with my guy, the Barry Gordy of this TFG thing, Lamar Falk. You can catch him, I think catch him on Friday nights around 9:30. He goes live. He's taking you through celebrity homes, and he's doing it as well on Sundays. I think around after the Real Housewife of Atlanta. I don't watch that, but I think he comes on after them. So you can catch the Real Estate Insider on Fridays and Sundays. And then Rue and the Fellas, Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. That guy right there, Charles Moore, Dwayne Martin, and Rue, who's the host. You can catch them at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. They talking about what's trending, entertainment, sports, whatever, and they're going to entertain you. And then on Monday nights, you can catch myself, Brother Lee Black, TFG Tonight with the host Brendan Haynes, as well as Devin Devine, who's getting in somebody's business. We talking about trending topics, entertainment, sports, and politics. Then on Tuesday nights at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can catch your boy, TFG Sports, your sports guy Kendrick. I'm giving it to you straight with no chaser. Come check me out, 6:30 to 7 p.m. And you can find everything you need on TFG TV, on Forgive Us Later. Oh, I cannot forget about Forgive Us Later. That guy right there. Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Charles Moore, Lamar Falk, and DJ Sullivan. Ladies, if you watch this show, you might be mad. All I can say is you got to watch that show with an open mind, because you are going to have to forgive them ladies, them fellas. I'm sorry, not ladies. You're going to have to forgive them fellas later. So that's all we got. I think I've covered it all, Brother Black. It's back to you.
You've heard it all from the voice. Absolutely. This is why I love him to do that segment. He has the melodious tones to bring.
Thank you, Shantae.
We absolutely love it. And so I want to thank Mr. TFG himself, Lamar Falk, for putting together this type of talent under one umbrella. I love being a part of the TFG family. If you haven't, tell family, tell friends, subscribe to the channel, find us on TFG Uncut, TFG Ratchet, and we have a plethora of shows. That's my 10-cent word, from an education. There's a plethora of shows out there. There's something for everybody. I want to thank Charles Moore from the Forgive Us Later. I want to thank Mr. Kenny. This is my brother, from the sports segment. Of course, my co-host Tasha. And for those viewing out there, Miss Shantae, Miss Brittany, I think that I didn't catch the other young lady's name who popped in and popped out.
Reps was in.
Reps, no, but the one that popped on camera. But Reps, okay. Appreciate you. I think her name was.
She was fine.
Fandra or whatever. I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. Please come back and visit us. We hate that we didn't get you on camera.
Hey, was she laying down like in a bed or something?
Down and she
And she had locks.
You caught us.
She had locks.
So hit that like and subscribe button. Absolutely. Please come back and join us, and you will not be disappointed. And so this has been Sunday's edition of Real Talk for Real Men. I am Lee Black, your host. Come back and see us again every Wednesday, every Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great evening. And there's shows tonight on TFG you can tune into. And so for everybody here at Real Talk, peace. Have a great evening and have a fantastic week. Keep it